Hello, class, and welcome back to CNG 132 500. This is our third week together. We're roughly, I guess if we have 10 weeks, we're almost a third of the way through the course. Once again, I understand that this course is a big course. It covers a lot of topics. Once again, if you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to me in the Google Hangouts. I can definitely get back to you pretty quick in there. D2L emails a good place to go. Front Range email, the third place to go in order of trying to get a hold of me the best way. In your message alerts, you can click this button here and it'll show you pager or internal messaging. Internal messaging is kind of will send well, it does send an email, while pager does bring it up more like an IM text chat. So different ways to communicate with me. Make sure when you're communicating me through any of that platform that you make it as clear as possible as you can. Um, in the syllabus, I give examples on how to keep an email formal. Um, it basically email is probably one of the most formal types of communication, um, where you want to say in the subject line what we're talking about, and then identify as soon as you start that email, identify who you are, what class we're talking about, what we are going to talk about, and then start talking about it. And make sure to keep maybe an email just to one topic. If you do have multiple topics in that email, definitely make that separate those different topics out by spaces, so then when I reply to an email or if I do a video about that email, it's easier for me to give an answer to that specific question. This week we finish up cryptography with advanced cryptography. We talk about asymmetric um, cryptography methods in this one. PKI, definitely the most popular one. Public key infrastructure. Keep in mind that the exercise I usually do with this is in class, I pretend we have a letter. I pass that letter throughout the class, and each student then says how they're encrypting it using what keys. Um, the reason behind this is whatever key the student decides to use, because you guys are going to be the administrators um, that are basically choosing what keys to use in your organization or enterprise. It's important that you understand that you stick with one set of keys. Um, Basically, I would say, okay, I have a letter. I'm sending it to Bob. I'm using Bob's public key to encrypt it, and then I pass that letter to Bob. Bob then tells me he uses his private key to decrypt that letter I sent to him. And then Bob chooses to pass that letter on to somebody else, whether he uses his key, his private key, or if he decides to use their public key. Once again, make sure you understand that concept, that you can only use one set of keys. It's either your key or their key. It's not a combination between your key and their key. It's definitely just one set of keys that you are using all the time. Networking and server-based attacks, very popular thing that we see all the time. And one of the best places, I'll put these in, I think it's called Odin threat. So I believe it was Odin threat monitoring. I'll look it up again. Basically, there are um, many softwares that do this. Yeah, so there's Odin FireEye. FireEye will work. Basically, many different threat maps that do this and show you different kinds of attacks that are happening in real life, and they usually break them down. Um, New attack, new attack, new attack. There were ways to break them down into specific threats, and I believe that the Odin was a specific one I was looking for because we were able to see um, server-based attacks as they were happening. I'll put that link. Um, Kaspersky's. Kaspersky's, I think, does like a cool little attack vector, and then it'll jump into like Doctor Who traveling to show you kind of where the attacks originate from and go to. This one will work for our purposes. We can see that at the bottom, we can see different sorts of attack scan, online access scan, on-demand scan, mail antivirus, intrusion detection system, vulnerability, Kaspersky's, and then just bad botnet activity. But with this, we can kind of see where the attacks are generated from, where they come from, and we can see that no place. I can't say no place because there's nothing happening in Antarctica. We can kind of see where all the attacks, I shouldn't say all the attacks, where a lot of the attacks are coming from and happening. And if we kind of use the globe, we kind of spin it around and see that Northern or Eastern Europe, Western Europe, some of Western Europe, most of Eastern Europe, being a prime spot for intrusion detection systems, malware, definitely cover in the United States. But a lot of the server-based attacks, DDoS, DOSing, we're going to cover this week. So definitely take a peek at that. We're covering 2 chapters this week, so a bigger workload again, but of course next week we cover 1 chapter. If you're getting behind in homework, make sure that you are starting to, this is week 3, hop in that hangout or ask for, see if anybody wants to get together for study sessions. Click the course materials, go for class lists, send out click this up here, internal message or page, and ask everybody if they want to join in a collective, a hive study group that is going to increase your chance for success. Make sure that you are hopping in the discussions and doing your discussions. Let's see, if you initial post by Wednesday and follow up with 2 discussions, you're going to get 10 points. If you miss one of those, you're going to get, if you do your initial discussion and 1 follow-up, you'll get 9 points. If you just do your initial discussion, you'll get 8 points. If you just do 2 follow-ups, you'll get 7 points. So there is a point breakdown in that system. Make sure that you are hopping in those and definitely collecting all your points. I want you guys to succeed in this course. And of course, being the designer of this course, I can tell you the secrets, the cheat methods. I guess I wouldn't say cheat methods. The secrets, the ins and outs of the course, and how to get the best grade out of this course. Definitely jump in and do those extra credit activities. No one's have taken any initiative and done that, but hop in there. Finding me on the internet's not hard to do. Google search will turn up my name, probably a picture. Take a snippet, post it in there. Social engineering, we learned about that in week 1. Definitely go out in the world and try to do that. You'll see just see how easy it is to do that, because we are social animals, especially since we are coming out of being isolated. We're going to be looking to socialize more, and our guard's going to be even down significantly since we haven't been, we've had a month and a little bit more out of practice of society. The email scam, I got a great email scam that is dropped in my personal email. I will copy that and show it to you, and you guys definitely take a minute and evaluate that email. Should be popping in next week when we get down to 1 workload. Once again, if you have any questions, reach out. Google Hangouts. Best way to get a hold of me, it comes through as a text on my phone, and pretty much anywhere I can answer you. The WebEx room should be open all the time. If you guys want to get together and use that, great. Definitely start to form a collective, build friendships in this course, because the same people are going to be going through the same courses all the way up until their 3rd and 4th semesters, because that's when you start to separate network technologies and cybersecurity. And I'll leave you at that. Have a great start of the week, and look forward to having a lot of fun. This week's really cool.